New and changed slam skills. Let's watch the video again. They've gone way too far. Oh my god, the MTX too. Sunder's looking spicy. It's funny too because I talk so much shit about two-handers and whatnot, but I would really like it as a playstyle. When two-handers worked in PoE, it was like gameplay-wise the most satisfying thing ever. In Path of Exile Harvest, we've created a new category of skills called slams. We've introduced one new support and one new slam skill, which several existing skills have been recategorized as slams. Alongside our announcement of Harvest, we revealed the new Fist of War support that works with all slams except Vol Slams, and Ancestral War Chief. Vol Slams are the most fun part. Every few seconds in Ancestor appears above your character and performs your slam in unison with you, creating a supercharged slam, doing much more damage with an increased area of effect. Okay, yeah, so this is the... We're going to start off this section by criticizing it from the get-go. I've made this argument before, so some of you might have already heard it. I've talked about it pretty extensively in Bay class, but I fucking hate this. I mean, it's just a single support, so it's not a big deal. It's not like people are forced into using it or anything like that, but it is absolutely mind-blowing to me that one of the initial things that they were addressing with this was a tectonic slam change, because the biggest issue with the ability was its inconsistency. So they recognized all of the bad things that would happen with tectonic slam, which was not having the buff, the bonus of the ability in situations where you actually need it. So you would have a small pack which you would hit and it would proc and it would be an insanely large hit, and then you would run up to a big pack which you need the buff on, and then it wouldn't proc. So they like perfectly addressed how they don't want that to be the case for that ability specifically, while also simultaneously adding an entire support gem that works in the exact same way, completely repeating the same mistake. Inconsistency is just not anything you ever want in PoE. Add it as a more active playstyle. Do the same thing you did with Warcries. It's very smart. I like it a lot. Having it be attached to your main ability, it just never feels good. It just never did. It's not inconsistent with low attack speed. That's the point. True. So I guess it's good for shit builds. Yeah. True. If you like taking 3 seconds between killing every pack of mobs, then it'll feel consistent. Right. I would really love to be wrong about this. I hope the cooldown is short enough. I hope it's going to be a functional ability. I don't think that it needs to be like another tectonic. And I don't think it needs to be another shockwave situation. Like, shockwave has the same exact issue. You guys played any shockwave builds recently? Maybe some chain builds? What I don't even know the name of those abilities. It fucking sucks, okay? It doesn't feel good. It just doesn't feel good, man. Chain hook, yeah. Earthshatter is a new level 12 slam attack that sends out 5 damaging fissures in all directions when you slam the ground. At the end of each fissure, a spike bursts from the ground and remains for a short time. If these spikes are in the area of another slam or warcry used by you or an allied player, the spikes will explode, dealing damage in an area around them. Wow, what an interesting design. Okay. The range of the fissure combined with the area of the unexploding spikes ends up spreading damage over a large area with explosions overlapping near the location you slammed. Damn, that's a really interesting design. You can also easily leap slam onto your spikes to trigger them while you move. I really like this design. I don't think it's gonna work, but it's a fucking fantastic idea. That's such a cool idea. You can see the little spikes over here. And then he blows them up with the war cry. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work by any means outside of like a gladiator or something, but it's so cool. Like, oh yeah, like see this? Like, ugh. it's ugh. But then it's so big. And it's got an explosion in the middle that's pretty substantial. But I'm thinking like a lot of people that are gonna play slam skills are just gonna fucking dual wield it, dude. But this is like the perfect display of why this doesn't work well enough. It's like, why not use Earthquake that just covers the entire screen as opposed to having to do like multiple attacks? I mean, maybe it'll feel satisfying enough that people are just gonna enjoy it. Not every skill has to be the best one in the game, but Tectonic Slam. Tectonic Slam has received an impressive new visual effect and no longer uses charged slams. Yeah, see, they recognized that it was bad. It instead counts endurance charges to grant more area of effect and additional damaging cracks in the ground. Always works like this, as if you have endurance charges, but then it only consumes the charges every third. Oh, I did misunderstand then. I just assumed that because they mentioned this, it would work like that. Yeah, but you guys are right. As long as you've got maximum endurance charges, it uses maximum cracks, and then you can get even more. And if that's actually the case, then I love it. Because like before, the way it worked is that if it didn't consume, it didn't do anything. That was the problem. Does he not have endurance charges in the first one? Yeah, he doesn't. And then he does. Okay. Damn, it does nothing. Look, this is the AoE with no endurance charges. This as well. And now he gets endurance charges. Now it's this big. Crazy. Old Tectonic still had like an inconsistent mechanic to it, but it was just so good that nobody like needed it, you know? So if this is, yeah, this is like a different approach to it, but through that, if it feels the same way, it's just going to be very satisfying. Perforate. Oh, they do address Perforate. Perforate now provides flat physical damage and scales as the gem levels. The distribution of its spikes and blood stance has been made more consistent. These changes to Perforate improve its ability to hit enemies more reliably and with a better spread of damage. Yeah, that sounds really good. I didn't play enough Perforate to really have like a huge opinion on it, but definitely the reason why I didn't was exactly because of that it would just fucking not hit shit, and it felt awful because of it. It felt like playing a Marauder, but like the first 3 levels of a Marauder, but always, you know? So, pretty horrendous. Sunder. Well, what do you know? As part of our effort to encourage slower and heavier hitting slams, Sunder has become a much wider and larger, but slower cascade. Slower? How am I gonna go fast then? Using Sunder while one cascade is still in motion will cause the existing cascade to end prematurely? Bitch. These cascades will always travel a minimum length, so you can still use Sunder effectively with multi-strike and fast-hitting weapons when close to enemies. It still releases shockwaves which can overlap when they hit enemies. Leveling the gem no longer scales its radius, but instead scales its area of effect. Overall, it now provides a better area of effect for slower hitting weapons. This sounds horrific. I mean, it says that it's got a minimum range, so I'm assuming that the minimum range is like... This doesn't look cool at all. Earthquake, the Grand Slam, and Ice Crash. These skills are receiving numerical changes which will be revealed closer to launch. Oh, I do love Earthquake. And I do like Grand Slam a lot. Hopefully it's going to be reflected in Volt Grand Slam, because that's one of my favorite skills of all time, baby. In general, the idea is to make them generally stronger. Before you go, you should also know that Grand Slam, Sunder, and Earthquake can also be used unarmed. Wow. Alright, let's try and pay attention to this Sunder situation. I'm a little concerned. But overall, these changes are pretty lit, dude. I do like them, especially paired up with the Warcry. Sometimes it's a little difficult to judge these sort of things because there's the sheer extent of changes whenever GGG releases anything. But yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit here. I mean, that's like really slow. Like really slow. I need a video where the guy fucking doesn't take 6 weeks to hit a pack. Kong Strike looks fucking really strong. It's always been a pretty reasonably powerful ability. At a point, it was like really nice. Man, we don't really get to see a whole lot of Sunder. You see like 2 clips, and in both of them, the guy just takes forever. It's cool. I'm not as big of a fanboy of unarmed stuff as a lot of other people are, but more stuff like this is always a good thing. But then Sunder, yeah, I actually actively do not like it unless the minimal range is substantial enough. Which I think they know what they're doing. I think they've been doing a good job at melee in general. Like, people don't give GGG enough credit when it comes to the melee changes, because a lot of the stuff was really overshadowed by swords and Cyclone, but overall they've done a good job. Not as great of a job at like balancing out the top end with the bottom end, but definitely a great job of bringing up the bottom end. So, and I mean, it is definitely a mistake, because like, if swords are just that much stronger than everything else, then why the fuck wouldn't you play Cyclone, right? If every skill tree looks the same, if every character looks the same, and it's just a matter of, do I equip Cyclone or literally any other skill? You're just gonna equip Cyclone. So I thought they fucked up with that, but that's like a balancing issue. It's not a approach to the whole thing issue. So I think they've done a good job overall. I don't know if this is going to push people that didn't like it before to actually play it, but it's a lot of tools, and that's always a good thing. Hopefully it's paired up with some skill tree changes, which I'm always a huge fan of. So yes, yes, yes.